Hey cats, what's happening? Come on in the man cave here. I thought I'd get started on this project I told you guys a while ago. My derby cover here has been dripping oil, and of course it only drips after I get back from a ride. Otherwise it drains out because most of the oil is down below here in the bottom of the pan, but the derby cover sits a little higher. But I've had this drip, and I thought I'd fixed it once. I had bought another gasket for it, but apparently that didn't work too good. It is a beautiful day here today. I don't know what the temperature is outside. It's like 65 in the shed here. So beautiful blue skies. It would be a nice day to take a ride, but it's already afternoon, and I've been working all morning here, and now I'm going to tackle this job in here. But just about an hour ago, I saw a bald eagle flying over the top of the house there, and that's pretty rare for this area. I'm sure some of you guys have seen bald eagles in your area, and they're not uncommon in northeast Ohio. We do have them here, but in this particular part of the county, probably haven't seen an eagle here in over 50 years, maybe 100 years. So it's pretty cool, you know, and we do see the turkey vultures. And at first I thought it was a turkey vulture soaring around, and I looked again and I'm like, wait a minute, that's an eagle. It's huge. That's pretty cool. Anyway, back into the man cave. We're going to tackle this project today. We're going to put a new O-ring in that derby cover. Now I've got a brand new O-ring that I picked up on eBay to put in there. There is an O-ring in there already, plus a gasket. Now, you know, I had looked into how to stop this thing from dripping. Yeah, I know, the big joke, all Harleys Leak Oil. That's always been, you know, something that's I don't know if it's a joke or a you know what, but it's gone on through the centuries here. If you have a Harley, it's probably going to drip some oil. But if you have a Honda or a Suzuki or a Yamaha, it's probably going to eventually drip some oil too. But I'm bound and determined to get to the bottom of this one. I'm going to put a new O-ring in there. I'm going to take that gasket out of there. Now, they told me, you know, I should have the O-ring in there, but also they recommended this gasket that would go over top of the O-ring, and then you smash the derby cover back over it, and ooh, problem solved, no more leak. Well, apparently that hasn't worked. In fact, this gasket that I put on there, and I don't know if I did it right. There's only one way it goes on. I don't know how I could have messed it up, but it's still dripping. So we're going to take that off and put the new O-ring in, and hopefully we can at least slow the leak down. So the first order of business is going to be to take all these little screws out. And there's 5 of them. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 5 of them on this derby cover. So I'll pull all those out real quick. One more. Oh, that one was really full of oil, and that was the bottom one. Okay, there's the cover. There's the gasket. And you can see how the oil has been laying in behind that gasket. When I take the gasket off, I can't really tell where it was leaking from, but that's not going to go back on there because there wasn't one on there originally. So I'm going to wipe this off a little bit, clean it up. Now here's the old O-ring. And it almost seems like it's a bit deflated to me, because this new one is a little bit stouter. So I'm thinking that's going to help. But I got to get all that guck out of the seam there. So I'm going to work that rag around there pretty good, get all that black on it. I think over the years those O-rings can deteriorate just from heat and usage. Okay, we got that cleaned up pretty good. Now the other thing I want to look at is my oil level in there too after I get this together. And I have an app on my phone that has a flashlight in there. And yeah, that's gonna definitely need some oil in there, because I can't, it's barely up to the, it should be up to the bottom of this clutch plate here. And as I'm looking down in there, it looks like it's been dripping enough oil that it's low. So I'm going to put some more oil in there too. But first thing I'm going to do is work this O-ring into this. It's almost like it's too big. And it said it was for a 99. Oh, it's gotta fit in there. It's got to. I showed you this funnel before. It snaps right in there like that. And that way, you know, it does when you try to pour the primary in there. I use this Lucas primary chain case oil. And I can pour that right in there. I'll check the level again. With my trusty flashlight again. And let's put a little more primary geared case oil in there. That looks quite a bit better. And it looks like it's up to the bottom of the clutch plate now. And that's all I want in there. I don't want to overfill it. And then I'm going to wipe that off. Now this O-ring did fit in there with some work. It's almost like it's a size too big. But it does fit, because I don't want to pinch that when I put the derby cover back on. And it is. Just sticks it out there a little bit. Alright, now we're going to try to put this cover back on. Get this. Yeah, that's a problem when you buy stuff off eBay. You don't really know it's going to be the exact fit or not. This one fit, but it just, to me, it just could have been a better fit. But I don't know, it seemed like it was just a little bit stretched out. And I'm going to kind of go around and snug these up by hand. Okay, now I'm going to put some torque on them. I'm going to torque these to 90 foot-pounds. I'm going to kind of work around in a staggered rotation on these. I could probably have snugged them up a little bit more with my ratchet. That's all right. We're in no rush here. No rush. Take your time, do the job right. Looks like I'm gonna have to do some polishing when I'm done here. All right, let's try this one here. And let's push it up to a little more, a more, a more, a more, right about there. one's there. That one's there. All right. Well, we'll see if that does the trick. I'm kind of nervous. I'm not sure that that'll stop the dripping or not, but time will tell. After my first run out and back, I'll check it and we'll see if there's any drippage there. All right, well, it still needs a good polishing. I'm just wiping this off for now, but there's an oil film on there that'll have to be polished off of there. A little bit of oil won't hurt it though, I'm sure. All right. I'm looking at this gasket that they sent me, and as far as I can see, I'm trying to see where it may have been compromised and where it might be leaking, but it almost looks like the holes for the screws overlapped. Where the O-ring was, and that may be where it was leaking from, because this is the side that the derby cover was pushed on, and that's the side that was pushed up against the O-ring. Now here's the O-ring that was on there, and it's got like little nubs on the side that kind of hold it in place, and then it's wider than it is thinner, if you can see that. So I don't know if when it was in there it got rolled somehow and the nubs were sticking up. I don't know. Hard to tell. I'm not going to throw this one away. They said you can reuse them a couple times. If this new one leaks, which I hope it won't. It looks like the new one was thicker than this one, so it should have mashed in there, and that should hold it pretty good. If not, yeah, my Harley's going to leak. I don't know what else to do. It's just the nature of the beast, I guess, of this beast. Well, I'm going to put these tools away and get her down off the jack stand. We'll go from there. Well, all in all, a pretty simple repair. Not a big deal. 5 bolts really, and just replacing the gasket. Adding a little bit of oil, primary oil in there. Putting the derby cover back on. It can't be any worse than it was, okay? We'll find out. Last thing I'm going to do is slide some newspaper underneath there. And that way I can keep a monitor on how much it's dripping. I'll just kind of watch the stains on the paper there. Hopefully I don't see any. All right, that job's done. Hey, some of you guys have been asking about V, and just to give you an update, she's doing well. She's doing very well considering. As a lot of you know, she's been battling small cell lung cancer. And she's going on 3 years now, which is remarkable. In fact, the last scan she had, we went in and saw the oncologist, and he told us that he told her directly, he said, "Ma'am, you're doing phenomenal." So I don't know if it's God's grace and His blessings coming down on us that has kept her going and kept her healthy, or if it is the new medicines that are coming out now. But small cell lung cancer is a killer, and there's a lot of people haven't made it even halfway as far as she has, and she is doing remarkable. So as of her last scans, there were no tumors or lesions visible. So that's good. That's good. That's what we want to keep seeing. Her spirits are good. She's up. I hope you get her in the video, and you can talk to her face to face. But for now, you got me. That's the best I can do. Well, thanks for joining me today, cats, and just kind of supporting me while I worked on the bike a little bit. She's ready to roll again. I don't know if I'm going to have time to take a ride today or not. I've got an appointment later this afternoon. Thanks for joining me, and give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I'd love to have you join us here. Till next time, cats, ride hard and die free.